Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend and I hope you had a good first week of your online distance learning last week. I realize it was probably pretty overwhelming trying to figure out how to navigate through all of your classes and getting assignments done and turning everything online. But just remember, we are all here for you. We will all work together. You just need to let us know if you need anything to help you, if you need more time, whatever it may be. You are more than welcome to email me or any of your other teachers explaining your situation. But this week, we are really going to jump right back into learning and moving forward with the curriculum. So I want to set things up the way that you guys are used to by me writing the notes down and you copying along with me. I suggest that you have your notebook. If you do not have your notebook or a piece of paper to write with, you may go ahead and pause this video and go grab that stuff right now. If you are all set, we can go ahead and get started. I wanted to mention that hopefully you are reading through the slides for week 2. It's very important that you go in order of the slides. That way, because the progression of learning is happening each day. I don't want you to do Monday's work, do Thursday's work on Monday. It's very important that you go in order. You do not have to do what I suggest on each day, but the way I set it up will give you an opportunity to chunk the information in reasonable amounts of time so that you can complete all of the assigned work by Friday. All of your assignments are due by Friday at noon. If you need an extension, just let me know. But these videos, I'm going to try to make these videos relatively short. This one might be a little bit longer only because I'm kind of talking to you guys. I miss you guys so much. I wish we were in the classroom. But watch the videos. Look at what assignment corresponds with each video. And make sure you get those completed, regularly so you're not backlogged and come Friday you have 5 assignments you need to do. Okay, so again, any questions, reach out to me and we'll go ahead and get started. So before spring break, which seemed like ages ago, we briefly went over equivalent ratios. So today's video is more of a refresher in practice on equivalent ratios and how to find equivalent ratios. So that's just what we're going to do today. It's really nothing new. It's kind of just bringing you back to what we started before spring break. So these are just some practice examples on equivalent ratios. So you should have notes already on equivalent ratios. If you were absent, because I know some of you were absent before the break, please go back on Google Classroom to where those notes would be on there, and they are posted. So I don't want you to miss out or get behind. But essentially, finding equivalent ratios is by either multiplying or dividing your numerator and your denominator by the same number. And remember, ratios can be written as a fraction, they can be written with a colon in between the two numbers, or they can be written with the word to. Like for example, 5 to 3. So you can do it as a fraction, you can do it as using the words, or you can do it as a colon. Okay? Any of those ways work. If the problem in the textbook uses a fraction, I would write your answer as a fraction. If it uses the question is using the colon, write your answer as a colon. Okay, so I'm going to write down 3 different ratios and I want to see if they are equivalent. So for my practice problem number 1, I have 1/2, 2/4, and 3/6. And the question I have here is, are these equivalent? And the answer would be yes. Because if I take 1, to get from 1 to 2, I multiply by 2. If I multiply the numerator by 2, I have to multiply the denominator by 2, and I get 4. So yes, 2/4 is the same as 1/2. They are equivalent. And it's going to be the same with 3/6. From 1 to 3, I multiply by 3. If I multiply 2 by 3, I get 6. So 3/6 is also equivalent to 1/2. So 2/4 and 3/6 are equivalent to 1/2. Okay? Again, if you have any questions, jot them down so you can email me after. And also the beauty of doing the videos is you can pause them at any time to catch up, or you can always go back and not miss a thing that I say. So that's one plus side to this distance learning. Okay, example number 2. I have the ratio 3 to 5. And 9 to 10. Are these two ratios equivalent? Take a look. If we go from 3 to 9, I multiply 3 times 3 to get 9. So if I'm multiplying the 3 times 3, then I would have to multiply the 5 times 3. Is 5 times 3 10? No, it is not. So these two ratios are not equivalent. This 10 would have to be a 15 in order for those two ratios to be equivalent. Okay? And then my last example. I have 12 soccer balls, and I have 6 basketballs. What is the ratio of soccer balls to basketballs? Remember, when you have a question like that, you have to make sure that your numbers are in order with the way that the question is asking. So if it's asking the ratio of soccer balls to basketballs, you have to put the number of soccer balls first. So the ratio of soccer balls to basketballs would be 12 to 6. It would not be 6 to 12 because that is not what the question is asking. You could write it like that, you could write it like that, or you can write it, or you could write it like that. And then the last question here says, what are some other ratios to describe this situation? So I have 12 to 6, but what could be some other ratios that I can use that mean the exact same thing? And if you remember from way back before spring break, I always said that your ratios should be in simplest form. Okay, so that's just a matter of, in this case, dividing both numbers, both the 12 and the 6, by a common factor to get an equivalent ratio or in simplest form. So I could divide both of these numbers by 2. And if I divide both of them by 2, another ratio that describes 12 to 6 would be, if I do 12 divided by 12 divided by 2, I get 6. And if I do 6 divided by 2, I get 3. So 6 to 3 is another ratio that describes the situation. if I can divide both numbers by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that's another ratio that describes this situation. And what is one more? I can divide them both by 6. This is where your greatest common factors, or not even just your greatest common factor, but all of your common factors come in play. Okay, so 12 divided by 6 is 2, and 6 divided by 6 is 1. All right, so that will be the notes for today. There is an assignment that's going to be on the Big Ideas White app in Clever. It will be labeled Monday's assignment. So again, do those assignments in order after you've completed the videos and the notes. So this one will have questions 3 to 5 and number 19. So you have 4 problems to do for Monday's assignment. All of the questions that are on the Big Ideas assignment give you unlimited answers that you can check. So if you put an answer in, it should automatically tell you if it is correct or incorrect. And if it's incorrect, try again. And if it comes to a point where you are just, after several attempts, not able to get the correct answer, please email me and reach out. I would rather you ask me for help than turn in an assignment where you're getting them all wrong. Okay? Any questions, again, feel free, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.